So let's begin with talking about what everyone is probably most waiting for. Let's talk about your professional experience as a robotics software engineer at Boston Dynamics. So, of course, everyone knows about Boston Dynamics, but maybe you can briefly talk about the company and then about your role.
Sure. Yeah. So Boston Dynamics has been around for a couple decades, and they're a a pretty I would say pretty adventurous company that
That's a good
focuses
way
on
to put it.
yeah that focuses on really showcasing highly capable legged robots, right? A lot of the foundations of Boston Dynamics over the years and the viral videos that have come out have really been around bipedal, so two-legged, or quadruped, four-legged robots.
Mhm.
And that's really, two of the three main products that Boston Dynamics offers today, or well, I don't say products, but robots, are Spot, which is the four-legged dog-like robot, and Atlas, which is the humanoid robot used more for like research and showing off. So that's been a big strength of Boston Dynamics in that the founding members have a lot of legged locomotion research experience.
Yeah.
Um, my role in Boston Dynamics, as you've been saying, is not so much in that, but rather with the third platform, which is the Stretch robot, and that is Boston Dynamics' venture into logistics or warehouse robotics. So Stretch is essentially a mobile manipulator platform, right? It is a big robot. It's got a base with wheels, so it can drive omnidirectionally. It's got a 7 degree of freedom arm with a suction gripper with the purpose of kind of manipulating boxes. So anything that has like big flat surfaces is good for a suction gripper, like boxes.
Mhm.
Um, and it also has a pretty capable perception system in that Stretch has what they call a perception mast that sticks out from the base of the robot, and it's actively controlled, so you can point the cameras at a particular place and take pictures of things that you care about, in
Ah,
particular things that you want to manipulate, like boxes, or things that you want to avoid, like everything else. um, so so yeah, Stretch is of course what was unveiled fairly recently. Um, and there's been a lot of growth in Boston Dynamics because of that, and I'm certainly part of that growth in that I've been there for just 4 months at the time of this recording.
mm.
Um, so that yeah, that's kind of the high level. Now, personally, I work on the what we call the behavior team on Stretch, and the way to kind of divide that up, without getting into too much detail, is so there's the two words that you'll see a lot in the robotics literature, which are exteroceptive and proprioceptive.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Yes. So, and those are just like fancy words for really saying sensing your own internal state versus sensing the state of the world. And
Yeah.
I think that in most places, and also where I am, things are divided that way, right? So you've got your entire controls team, which will say, this is the internal state of the robot. Like, what is the state of my arm joints of my base, so that I can keep the system controlled and not hit into things. How do you track that? Great, you've got controls folks doing that. Then you've got the kind of the external facing perception team, which is, okay, using my sensors like camera, lidar, what have you. Um, can you detect things about the world that you care about? Like I said, things that you probably want to interact with, like manipulating boxes, or things that you want to avoid, like the walls or other obstacles.